I'm going to try it again. This is just an intro for a series of videos I'm going to post on my channel of a guy named Bob Gaskin. Bob Gaskin with Black Dog Survival School. He's got a YouTube channel. I think he's got a website. I don't know anything about him. I don't know the guy. I had never heard of the guy. Maybe some of you have. The Indianapolis Survival Expo this past weekend that I was at, and out of all the speakers that were there, this guy was the best hands down. Disclaimer, I did not agree with everything he had to say, especially the part about making predictions, but I did find it to be a really interesting discussion. I'm going to post a series of videos, like something like session 1, part 1, 2, 3, and 4, because his videos were an hour long, or his talks were about an hour long, and I'm only able to upload 15 minutes at a time. I guess because I got a PDAD channel. So there's going to be 4 parts to each session, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. 15 minutes in each part, thereabouts, and that's it.
Sales from any of this. I do this not for me, but for you. Okay? And I mean that. If you can't afford something I have on my table, you come tell me, I'll give it to you. I don't care. I do that because all of these fear mongers out there, they go ramble on for an hour about all these things you need to be afraid of, right? And then at the end, they've got a coupon code that if you go to this specific website, you can buy this one item that will save your life, right? You're giggling, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You've heard them. That'll save your life if you just buy that one vehicle, or that one thing. And people go to those websites, they spend their money, and that's why they scare the crap out of you. The problem is these people are going to cause you to die. It's that simple. 88 to 94% of us will be dead at the 180-day mark. People fear of Russia or China or North Korea or Iran nuking us. They don't want to nuke us, guys. They don't have to. We will kill ourselves in that first 180 days, and on the 6-month mark, they can just walk right in and have all of our infrastructure in place, and without having to kill all of the animals and all of the people and everything else, because we're going to do it ourselves. I'll give you a quick rundown of this. These are not my numbers, guys. These come from 138 government agencies from around the world that hate each other, and out of those 138, 129 of them came up with the exact same statistics. So we're going to run through that. Anybody want to run through what the first 180 days is going to look like? Outstanding. So here we go. Pick a disaster. Nuclear war, EMP, pandemic, pick one. Oh, I love it. EMP is my favorite. So, okay. When I point to you, I need you to stand up. I'm going to tell you how you died, and then I need you to clear away. One of the sides or on the back. Give you a really good visual, okay? How old are you? 11. Okay. We got any teenagers in the audience? 15, 16, 17? How old are you? 15? Are you the oldest or the youngest? Second to the youngest, so you got somebody underneath you living at home. You got any older siblings still at home? Outstanding. You get to be a survivor. Okay, if you'll stand up for me, if you'll stand up for me, if you'll stand up for me. So the 3 of y'all were heading to business meetings, visiting grandma, whatever. You were on an airplane at the moment that your favorite disaster hit the EMP, so y'all fell out of the sky and you're dead. Please step off to the side. I'm going to run through this real quick. Sir, if you'll stand up, sir, if you'll stand up, sir, if you'll stand up for me. And behind you, if you'll stand up. See, the 4 of y'all were on the interstate when the EMP hit. And everybody seems to think, like the TV shows show us, right, that our car's just going to gently roll to a stop, but they don't. We have power brakes, we have power steering, we have power windows, we have power door locks, and when the EMP hits, all of that is going to be wasted. The cars are not going to gently roll to a stop. They're going to be jerking, they're going to be swaying, they're going to be running into each other, and a lot of people are going to die. As a matter of fact, the statistic is that the moment that an EMP hits the United States, we will lose over 170,000 people instantly. We'll lose another 500,000 people in the next 24 hours after due to injuries sustained the moment that the EMP hit. So unfortunately, y'all were in your cars, you're dead. Step off the side for me. Okay, sir, if you'll stand up. Ma'am, if you'll stand up. Ma'am, if you'll stand up. See, the 3 of y'all are your typical preppers. You're at work, you're in the city, you realize what just happened, Lights go out, your cell phone doesn't work, right? Cars are screeching to a halt, banging into each other outside. So what do y'all do? You run out to your cars, you get your little tactical get home bag, your Molly strips and everything on it, and you throw in your camouflage clothes in the middle of the city, and you start heading home, right? And this guy over here that's never been a prepper, but watched on TV what preppers do, and this guy over here that's got the crazy neighbor that's the prepper, right, that's been telling them all this time, oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. See, they recognize that y'all three are preppers. And they recognize they've now got to get home. And from the TV shows they watch, they recognize y'all now have what they're gonna need. So y'all are dead, because they killed you. Step off the side for me, please. If you can stand up, ma'am, are you with him?
She has to live.
Because you have 10 children. You know what? I'm going to let you live. Keep standing because you just died, right? Okay. So guys, day 2, here's the problem, right? It's the winter time, and there's snow on the ground, and it's day 2. Stand up for me. Sir, if you could stand up for me. The crazy hair. I love your hair. I'm digging it. Okay. All of y'all tried to get home, but you miscalculated. See, the average prepper thinks, well, I got 2 or 3 days worth of food in my car, I'm good to go. But you made the same mistake that all preppers make. You put food stuff in your get-home bag that goes bad when it's put into a situation with extreme heat, like MREs, okay? So as a result, on day 1, you're trying to get home, you miscalculate how long it's gonna take, which, by the way, the average rule of thumb is 10 miles a day, guys. So if you drive an hour down the interstate, that's 70 miles, it's gonna take you how long to get home? 7 days. You get the prize. I got a prize for you later. So unfortunately, y'all didn't have enough food with you, or what you did had was bad, so you got sick, and then you started throwing up, which got you to be dehydrated. Then you had the other issues. Next thing you know, you get up on day 2 because you're dehydrated. What's the problem? You can't make a fist, you can't walk, you can't bend your knees, you can't bend your back because the gout's already set in, and you got a booming, just throbbing headache, migraine because you're dehydrated, and you lay down thinking I'll be better tomorrow, right? And you end up dying in your sleep from dehydration. You're dead. Step off the side. Anybody that's dead have a spouse in the audience? Where? You don't count, you've got kids. You have any children living at home? Outstanding. So you're my classic day 3 person. Stand up for me. Stand up for me. Stand up for me. Let me tell you something, guys. At the 30-day mark, everywhere you look, there will be dead people. Everywhere. Every store you walk into, trying to scrounge for food, you'll be walking down the street and you'll pass the minivan that's got 2 car seats in the back covered in blood. You're going to turn a corner and you're going to find a 92-year-old woman who was abused before she was murdered, laying there. That's what you're going to be facing. And unfortunately, 37% of the population of the United States will kill themselves within the first 30 days. That's y'all. Step off the side, you're dead. It's your own hands. This gentleman back here was undergoing volunteer knee surgery when the EMP hit. Due to complications, no electricity, germs, all that kind of fun stuff, he ended up dying. You're dead. Stand up, please. Move off the side. Yeah, him. You're okay. What happened to your hand? Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna let you live. I love this. See, guys, the problem is that you've all bought into the crap. I don't like talking bad about people, okay? But folks whose initials are like, I don't know, Glenn Jones, or Glenn Beck, Alex Jones, and Steve Quayle, right? They spread this fear among you. And they teach you that the only way you're gonna survive and your family's gonna survive is if you become a selfish prick and you turn away your fellow man and your neighbors, right? Because you don't realize that for years you've been the crazy prepper. But on the day that it happens, you become the resident expert. And the next day, you become these people's only hope. You follow me? And that's my goal today. By the time we're done with this class, I'm gonna change the way you think. And tomorrow, if you're able to attend, at 2:30, I'm gonna change the way you prep. Because my goal is to take you from the 6 to 12% that are gonna survive to the 88 to 94% that are gonna survive. That's my goal for you. is to allow you to become one of the survivors. And until you change the way you think, it's not going to happen. So we've already seen that just in the first 4 days, we've lost 30% of our people. Some from suicide, some from volunteer surgery, some because they were in an airplane, some because they were just driving to work, some because they bought into the nonsense that you have to have all this tactical stuff when you're in an urban environment and you're trying to get home. And you become a target because it's politicized now. It's out there everywhere. It's all these TV shows talking about the preparedness industry, and they always find the craziest wacko. I know a guy in Tennessee, been on the news 3 times for tornadoes. One time with 2 broken arms. He's going, oh, my wife, she was up to the Walmart and I saw this big heavy wind coming and my trailer started to rock. I went to high school with that idiot. Right? These people exist, and they're the ones that they find for the TV shows. So your co-workers, other people in your building, people down the street that watch these shows, when you throw that tactical back on with those camouflage pants in an urban environment, you become a target. That's why some of you have died already. See, the first dying time is the first 5 days. See, this lady here made it home okay, and she was there. And this lady here made it home okay. No, you didn't. You're still at work. Are you two married? Are you gonna be married? Someday maybe? They're married, I not pronounce it. So this dude here makes it home. She makes it home. I need a married couple. Somebody raise your hands if you're a married couple and your spouse is still alive in the class. No? Yeah, he's already dead. You're still a good example. Stand up for me, stand up for me, stand up for me. Here's the biggest mistake the average prepper is gonna make. It's day 4. Her spouse isn't home. Stand up for me. You just died, I'm sorry. You look so sweet too, but hey, you gotta die. So, it's day 4, she's waiting for her spouse to come home who's never gonna make it because he's already dead, okay? She's waiting for her family to come home and nobody showed up. He's waiting for his, you're married, he's waiting for his wife to come home and she's not there. It's day 4. They make the biggest mistake that the majority of people are gonna make. Y'all wanna know what that is? They leave their home and they go to find them. Because before the event took place, they didn't take a map and map out a red path, a blue path, a yellow path, put checkpoints on that path to where when the event takes place, they can send a text or they just have their standard route that they go. So she didn't know what route to take to look for her husband. She didn't know what route to take to look for her family. He didn't know what route to take to look for his wife. So they leave their home where they're safe because they didn't have a plan. And they got these nice AR-15s and their quick draw holster and their tactical bag, and they became a target. Y'all are dead, sorry. Step off the sidewalk. How many kids you got at home? How old?
6.
Okay, yeah, you gotta survive. Oh yeah, he just died. Okay, no, better yet. Even better, even better. So see guys, what most people don't realize is the numbers, they're not my numbers. 137 government agencies from around the world, 129 of them came up with the exact same figures. 88 to 94% of us will lose 35 to 40% of our population in the first 5 days. From violence, from chaos, from the event itself. And then we go into this lull, okay, for about 2 weeks, where we lose some people here and there for different reasons. This guy, he cut his hand on a piece of rusted metal. He didn't have any antibiotics, didn't know how to treat it. And by day 9, he died of blood poisoning, right? This lady here, not realizing what was going on. She knows something's happened. She knows it's bad. She's got her preps, right? But her preps were stored in her garage. The heat, fluctuating heat, caused moisture to build inside the Mylar bags for freeze-dried food. And her MREs, they got a little bit too hot and all that kind of fun stuff. She ate something that was bad. She got food poisoning, dehydration. She's dead on day 12. Stand up, please. The next big dying time, though, guys, doesn't come until day 25, running through about day 35 and 40. See, 1 out of 6 Americans today are on some type of mind-altering medication to keep them sane. My wife is on medication to keep me sane.